about that once we get into the run.
Yeah, we have lots of time to talk about everything.
Yes. And then probably, I'd say, was it probably 2-ish years ago, a year or 2 years ago, when Fiesel was doing the SNES run of this?
I think it was last year.
Got intrigued again. Yeah, I got intrigued again and was like, I should give this game another shot. And this time managed to grasp it a little better and enjoyed.
Thanks for Aaron for putting up the leaderboard. That got a ton of people hyped to try it out. Sadly, most of the people only did the win one level speedrun. We'll talk about that later, maybe, how hilarious that is.
Yes. It's especially hilarious
doing
in this version,
the whole game. Nobody has done a speedrun of the whole game yet. Questions if somebody will ever attempt that. And we're only doing the first
brutal in the later levels. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. I think with this, I'll get a setup for starting the run. The deities, of course, Retrothon in this case. I don't care about the copy protection; it's not working. And we start from level 0, of course. Genesis, and as you can see, we have all the powers, but the enemy has nothing. And with this, I will start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay. So as I said before, we have a ton to talk. We have a lot of time to talk about the game. First off, well, we're of course lowering and raising the land around here to make the people some nice living space for these people. And later on, we'll do some very special strats to win this level rather easily. I will use because this level is actually the same in, I think, all versions. At least it's the same also in the SNES version. So I'm using the same strat that Fiesel is doing for the SNES version. And if you want to go into more detail, like maybe you can go for it, MTI, and I'll keep focusing on the level for now.
Sure. So if you are unfamiliar with what Populous is, it is one of the first ever God games. The description I like to use, and this is a very imperfect description, it's actually got a lot of holes in it, but I think it'll give you the basic idea, is imagine you're playing SimCity, but on the other end of your map is another player also building a SimCity, and you have to use various natural disasters to destroy their city before they can destroy your city. That I think kind of gets the basic idea of what's going on here across.
No! Okay, I need to restart. That was dumb. I just killed my own guy.
Oh no!
I only wanted to kill the other guy. I swear. Go ahead, sorry. No worries.
Okay, that's all right. So yeah, that's kind of the basic idea of the game. And the thing that I did not grasp as a kid was that it plays not exactly like SimCity. In fact, not really a whole lot like SimCity, but the basic paradigm, if you will, of you do not directly control the action. This was something I could not grasp as a kid. You can give your units kind of basic orders. You can tell them at a high level what to do, but you do not directly control them. They will act on their own a lot of the time. So that's where I was confused as a kid, because I had the manual, presumably from renting the game. And I would just be like, where's my build castle button? Like, how do I tell my dudes to attack the other dudes? Like, why aren't they doing what I tell them to? And, well, that's why. So this first level, is actually interesting in the speedrun because it's the only level where we really kind of engage the enemy directly in an offensive manner at the onset here. And part of the reason for that is each level, or each set of levels, has various, if you will, parameters, basically governing what the game world is like. So here, water is fatal. So what we can do is what you just saw there.
Yeah, I can sink the people there if I can.
We can just sink
manage
the
to do
enemy,
so.
and they will and they will instantly die. Usually. Sometimes, yeah. I
Sometimes
was
they're
complaining
saved.
about this watching you do the practice run, where sometimes the computer is like a cheating 3-year-old. Where if you've ever played like, a toddler in a board game and they do something and you're like, you can't do that, it's against the rules. And the toddler being a toddler is just like, yes, I can, I just did. And you just have to kind of grumble and be like, okay, fine, whatever. Uh, the CPU can occasionally act like a toddler in this. It'll just ignore the rules. Um, but yeah, this is the only level where we kind of harass the enemy into being unable to expand, and then we basically expand a lot. In all the other levels, we're essentially just trying to expand faster than the enemy can, and we're trying to not basically disregard them as much as possible. Um,
Yeah, exactly. So for now, bully mode. I will not kill the enemy directly with this because we want to abuse the point system, which is also very interesting. Like if you've played this casually, like I did back in the days, I only advanced like 1 to, I think it's usually like 1 to 5 levels at a point. So you don't go to only one level, but depending on how many points you got, you can advance more or less levels. But actually, with abusing the point system, you can go um, up to 20 levels ahead. So that's what we are trying to do. We're trying the basic route of this, or the basic reason for oh, I didn't do that. The basic reason to stall here a little bit is actually um, to actually get to a certain amount of points to get to another level that is, let's say, very convenient for the run. To get another quick level where you can advance quickly, to get to another level where you can advance quickly, until we get to, well, level 100, which is the point of this run. But for now,
yeah,
sinking
so
people.
these, yes, thinking a lot of their people. Um, Yeah, so in this game, the game actually has close to 500 levels. In a typical playthrough, you will not play all 500 levels. You will not play close to that. You'll play closer to 100. I think in a typical, if you will, casual playthrough, playing sort of, if you want to say, the intended route, on average, you'll skip somewhere between like 3 to 6 levels per level you're victorious in, and how far you skip is governed by your score at the end. And doing various things gets you various numbers of points. But there is I don't even know if it's a glitch because it carried over into other versions, such as the SNES version, which also uses it. But there's something you can do to get, I'm pretty sure, way more points than was intended.
Mm-hmm.
And using that, you can jump ahead as many as 20 levels if the level layout and everything is favorable to it. Right
Okay,
now, we're just cutting
almost
off,
done.
cutting the enemy off here.
Yeah, I'm almost done here with giving them a little isle to play with, and I'll stick to my side of the land. So hopefully they will not come too close, otherwise I might kill them, which is not the point. As we just explained, we want to gather enough points, and we do this by stacking Armageddon at the end. So on the top right, there's this mana bar that is slowly rising. Like at the moment, it is actually not really that slow. It's actually quite quick because I have a lot of castles. So that is beneficial for our mana production, but we get to that later maybe when we talk in more detail about it. But I get some mana, and I want to have enough mana that I can spend. Let me look at my notes. 8 Armageddon. So the
Which is
Armageddon
a
is the
lot.
last spell on the bottom, the one with the skull, and I can spam that 8 times if I don't do anything else at that point. And with this, we get a ton of points.
Yep. So interesting game development story about Armageddon. Um, like you said, Armageddon is basically well, let me explain the speedrun portion of this first. So yeah, Armageddon is basically the okay, uh, I'm ready for this game to be over, frankly,
Yeah.
button.
Please end it.
You hit, yeah, basically you hit the Armageddon button, and what happens is all of your followers, that's your population, and all of the enemy followers, they all gather up. They meet at the center of the world. If there's no way to the center of the world, they'll make one. And they basically just have one final bash up, and essentially the larger population at that point wins the game. Um, Normally, when you have cast Armageddon, that is it. You can't do anything else, except with one exception. And that is, if you have the mana to cast additional Armageddons, the game will gladly let you do that, and it will gladly give you the full point value for Armageddon each time. So that is what we will be abusing here to jump ahead a bunch of levels.
We separate these aisles. So it's the computer wants to slowly rebuild it, but I won't let him. I don't want to connect these landmasses. So every now and then I need to check here if something is going on, if he's connecting again. So
Right.
a little bit unbeneficial. Usually what happens here in the bottom right is that they expand on their own, but I only had one castle there, and that was not very helping. So I'm a little bit behind on what I should have, I feel. But we'll see how I can manage here. So for now, it's pretty much just expanding for maybe another 5 to 7 minutes. And then we should be good with the mana income.
Yeah, so interesting developmental note about Armageddon that was added to the game because when Bullfrog was testing this, they were actually testing it out as a multiplayer game. You can play this multiplayer. I have no idea how difficult it actually is to set up now with, DOSBox, etc. But they found that the games were a lot of fun, but they were just taking way too long to actually finish. And they needed just a way to be like, forget it, we are done. This game is over. And that's how the Armageddon button came to be.
So yeah, so that is the spell that we will use the most. Well, technically, what we use the most is lowering and raising the land, but
Yes.
I don't know. Does it count? As you see, I'm constantly doing that.
Yeah, that's really the core of the gameplay. Regardless, is raising and lowering your land, kind of trying to flatten it out.
Oh, did
so
I miss him?
Make lots of castles.
Oh, did he went up? Oh no, I missed him. So there was this mountains there. These are not normally here. They got made by a beast or monster or whatever you want to call it, god entity. That is somewhat special to bring in some more chaos in this game. So sometimes they spawn and they technically ruin your gameplay. The one with the mountains is not as bad. Then there's one with forest. That is also not so bad, but the one with the swamp is actually kind of dangerous to me. Because that can kill a lot of people.
Yeah, the swamp one is actually particularly dangerous on this level because the parameter for swamp is bottomless.
Yeah, they all die.
So in one of the swamp parameter, it can be either, I think it's shallow or bottomless.
I think so.
In a given world, if a swamp is shallow, when a person, either yours or the enemy, walks into a swamp, they die, but the swamp disappears. If swamp is bottomless, they walk into the swamp, they die, and the swamp does not disappear. So if you're not aware that there's swampland out and about, it can wreck your population pretty quickly on this map.
Yep, so hopefully we'll get lucky and we don't have to see this in any of the levels.
as we said, this level is the game actually does have a tutorial mode, but it really doesn't tell you much about how to actually play the game. It just kind of starts you off with a bunch of mana and is like, here, go kill the enemy.
Connected again.
But this is also
Bye-bye.
kind of a tutorial level because you have access to the full suite of powers, and the computer really can't do anything besides try to expand, raise and lower land, essentially.
He got a lot more mana, so he can build faster now. Which is a bit annoying for me. Probably soon I cannot prevent him anymore from, like, without being very distracted from expanding myself. So you can also see pretty much the power of all the people combined in the top right corner. There's this blue bar on the left and of the shield, and the red bar on the right. So you see that there's a certain power level difference, let's put it this way, between our nations already.
Yep, and it should be pointed out the displayed cap is not the actual cap, and that actually goes for the mana as well. You can see the
pretty much
the mana bar
forever.
is the indicator is way the heck off to the right there, but we're still getting even more mana as we expand and build more and more castles.
15. Not yet. I'll in a minute or so I can try.
Yeah, so we'll be utilizing some safety saves here in case we miscalculate, because there was some definite variance in the timing for this, and sometimes even how many Armageddons you need to use to jump to the desired level.
So what I haven't figured out yet is there's some variance that is also unpredictable. Like, I don't really know. Sometimes you get some extra points for some reason, but I haven't figured out what it is that gives you those extra points.
Right. So for each of the powers,
you go into another level that you're not supposed to be.
Right. So for each of the powers that you use that are not your first actually two powers, which are the first one is just raising and lowering land, and then the second one is directing your leader to a specific location. That's what that Ankh symbol is. We can pick that up and move it around, and we can tell our leader to go there. For using all of the other powers, you get a certain number of points, but you can get points for other things as well. And so I can speculate on what some of those are, but
so I just tried a couple of Armageddons, but I think it was 5 or 6, so I'm far off from the 8 that I plan to use.
We need, what, 8?
So I didn't even battle it out and just load it. Oh, these small huts. They don't produce enough mana. Make bigger ones. But they are like, let me sleep.
Right. They're just living like hermits off in the mountains there.
Sometimes I swear that they're trolling me. Like, I create a nice space for them to live in, a really open, nice space, and they walk the other direction and build.
They just don't want to go in that direction. Yeah.
Like, I like the hills more than the flat. Like, dude, you want to build a castle or just a small little hut?
Right. So, as you probably noticed, the more kind of flat, uninterrupted land, if you will, that you give one of your, I guess, peasants, the larger the building they will build. And each size of building on each map terrain has kind of its own properties as far as how much your population grows and how much mana they generate. And
I mean, if you want, you can read off the table.
I actually have the spreadsheet up here. There's a spreadsheet if you go to speedrun.com and you go to Populous. And you look in the resources, there's a spreadsheet that has a lot of this data, including the points data for using various powers and whatnot.
Yeah, there
But
were a couple
generally
of people
speaking,
coming in, like doing a lot of research there, for
yeah,
especially this NES version, um,
yeah.
where they gathered a lot of these, documented a lot of these values.
Yeah. I don't know if you all heard that, but my Coco commentator, Mario the Cat, just jumped up on my computer. Say hi, Mario.
Nice. No, I didn't hear that.
No, now you're going to be all shy. Okay, fine. You do that.
All right. It's been a long time. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I didn't miscount, this should be 8. And there's one interesting thing about the DOS version. So if I like move my with the cursor buttons, I actually can speed up the game. Which is a bit weird
Yep.
why this is happening. So if I just stay in the corner and keep spamming the arrow buttons, the game will speed up, and then I can continue a little bit faster. Yeah, I'm supposed to be in level 19. That's fine. So
Yep.
and that is
Yep.
a different
That's right.
terrain. That will be the lava here. Yeah. Want to talk about lava a little bit, or shall we talk about, because there's also a speed setting? Shall we do that later? Because speed setting is a bit tricky.
The speed setting, yeah. So the computer actually has a number of kind of parameters for essentially how well it plays the game, and one of them is speed. And I think I actually remember going through the manual and like referencing some of this stuff, and what basically what the screen implies the two parameters are not actually what the two parameters are. You'd think it's like speed and skill, and it's not. It's like speed and aggression or something like that. It's kind of weird, but um yeah, so here we're just going to try to expand as quickly as possible. Generally, this is the strategy for the start of any level is, hold on.
Expand, expand, expand.
Yeah. You want to basically try to get one castle as quickly as possible, because that'll kickstart your mana generation. And then you want to expand the terrain as flat as possible for as much as possible. And then once you've done that, you
especially
want
in these magma levels, or like, I don't know, volcano
Yes.
levels. Don't know how to call them, but in these levels, the mana regeneration or mana generation on the castles is insane.
Yep.
It's insanely high. So we're pretty much only playing grass levels or lava levels. Whenever one or the other is available, that's where we will go. You will not see any desert or ice levels, because they're slow. There's a lot less mana generation, so they will take a long ass time, especially the ice levels. Okay, they moved into a direction I did not want them to go, but okay. I want more castles.
your peasants sometimes not the most intelligent in terms of where they decide to move.
They didn't do it again.
Like you said, you build them lots of nice flat terrain for a beautiful castle.
And then they walk directly towards these mountains.
Into the hills,
Guys,
yeah.
Please. You want to live on a farm or a castle? And they're like, on a farm. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to do all that maintenance on that huge castle. Come on.
Yeah, true. Actually, they are too smart for me. They are very too smart for me, these guys. They're like, haha, we see what you're doing. No, we're on the farm. So this is also a level that features the other guy having a certain power also now. So in the first level, we're the guy that has all the powers, and the enemy has nothing. In this level, they can spawn swamps. So watch out for whitish tiles with a lot of how to say, little arrows, maybe. I don't know It's
Yeah,
like
it's kind of a
roughly
light
like this.
gray.
True.
It's a little
It's
hard to
less.
tell.
Only in comparison it looks white. Yeah, it's more grayish. Yeah,
Yeah,
a white grayish. Because that is again pretty dangerous for my people, and I will get rid of it. If I spot it,
right.
and since I can
Honestly,
already do
the easier
volcanoes,
way
he's
to
probably coming soon, getting soon the power of swamps.
mm,
Ah, yeah, there
yeah.
it is.
So
That's how it
honestly,
looked
the
like.
easy way to tell if you've been swamped is like that. I was just gonna say, if you're like, hey, I have a bunch of flat land, why are my buildings so tiny?
Yeah,
Well, there's
why are
probably
there
swamp
no
under there.
castles? Hmm,
Yes. You
I
can
wonder
see
why.
they had the little white V's there, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
That was swamp.
So maybe want to just go through all the powers, all the spells that we have. So I think we already mentioned the first two, like lowering, raising the
Sure.
land, is pretty obvious. Second one is moving the ankh or totem, however you want to call it. So that one was pretty much or like important for the first level, and we will not use it again. The third power is an earthquake. So it actually ruins what you set up so nicely with this nice flat land, and it creates some like pits in it. Call it shortly. I don't know. Yeah. Then is the next one is the swamp. So this usually
I
deadly
will be right
or
back,
this the
everybody.
deadly region where your people are gonna drown in the swamp. Then we have the knights. So they will spawn from the leader. The leader will become. Oh, we didn't talk about leaders. But yeah, the leader, the one that the guy that carries the totem or the ankh, is then transformed into a knight and goes on a rampage on to the enemy, trying to destroy their castles. And yeah, then we have the volcano. So it spawns a big ass volcano. We will see that in the next level, I think. It
Yep,
is
I'm back, by the way.
a lot of volcanoes. And yeah, it yeah, as it pretty much it's not an active volcano, it's a passive volcano, but it ruins the land. You will see it anyways. Then we will also see a flood later on. The flood is yeah, it like you can see that we can raise and lower the land quite a bit higher than just one layer or
Yeah, there
yeah
you go.
one height. So what you usually do is like if you have the flood, there's also like an easy win possibility against an enemy. Just make your you stack on two layers, and then hopefully, or like the if the enemy builds only on one layer, you can do the flood, and most of these people will die, or he will be set back at least. And the last one we already explained, that it's the Armageddon, the big battle in the middle.
Yep. And yeah, I think what the flood technically does is it lowers all the land by one layer, and if the land is one layer high, it just makes it disappear. I think if you read like the manual and everything, it says it raises the water by one tile. That's not quite technically what it does. The effect is ultimately the same, but
yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing it.
yeah. Another note about volcanoes: they are a lot more effective for the computer than they are for you against the computer, because the computer is not bound by the land cleaning rules that you are. Um, so when you use a volcano, it spawns a bunch of the kind of little mini mountain tiles, and there's two types. I forget exactly which is which, but for one of them, what you have to do is just raise or lower the immediate land that it's on. Okay, so it's the dark ones that you just raise and lower the land it's on and it
Exactly, yeah.
disappears. The light ones, you have to lower them all the way into the water or lava to make them disappear. Um, if you watch carefully when you use a volcano on the computer that spawns these, or you just watch them kind of build in general, you'll know they don't have to lower the land all the way down to the lava to eliminate those lighter mountains. They just lower it down to wherever they want, and the mountains disappear like magic for the computer. It's
Cheater.
great. CPU in later levels really doesn't need that advantage. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. All right. I think we should be ready to go or to try the next one. So 6 or 7 it says. Why don't we try 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that's only 5. Okay, like maybe half a minute or so more. Since we have a ton of
Yeah, it seemed like we were pretty close.
ton of castles, it's not taking that much longer. I can just also spam a little bit up, accelerate the game a little bit by this neat little trick to speed it up. Oh yeah, by the way, there's also a speed setting in the game.
Yes.
But it's a little bit tough to use it. I'm not using it. I mean, I'm the only guy that did this category yet. I'm not using it because it's a little bit too scary for me. In the lower levels, it might work to just accelerate the game a little bit and win, like, and be faster. Do a really speed run and be faster, you know. But at some point, it gets tough to like keep up expanding quicker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should be fine. Let's check this out.
Yeah, it is.
And then it gets
scary.
horrible, dangerous to actually complete the levels. So instead, I aim to go for this, which is just accelerate for the Armageddon by using this little
if you turn the game all the way up to max speed, what happens is even on Genesis, you know, the tutorial level, basically, the computer basically grows faster than you do and it starts engaging you on your territory. And it's like, what the heck?
7. Okay, this time I needed 7. So it was only in level 32. Unless maybe I need volcanoes. So I can't remember how much more the Armageddon is doing. Actually, it should be doing 2 levels per Armageddon, I think.
Yeah, I think the
should be fine.
It might not even be the next level. It might be the one after that where you use the volcanoes.
Yost me. That sounds correct. Yep, 34. Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. For quickness sake, let me just restart this real quick on the correct position. So this is the level where we'll see a lot of volcanoes. And I just want to expand quickly because I want to use the most time I can get to get castles, pretty much. Let's see if I can make that happen. Okay, that should be fine. Then this first castle. Okay,
there you go.
I'm out of mana.
But, yeah, but there are in-game speed up and slow down key combinations that the manual doesn't actually ever tell you about. It's not in the manual. It's in a reference card that was, I guess, included with the game back in the day. And I bought this on GOG, about a year-ish ago, a year and a half, and I don't know if it's changed since then, and I don't know if the recent release of this on Steam includes it, but at last check, while the GOG release gave you the manual, it did not give you that reference card. I had to go dig that out on my own, and it was incidentally also how I figured out how to play the expansion levels, too. Actually, not even that. Then I still had to do more work to figure that out. But anyway. While we're expanding here, the SNES version of this is interesting in that it kind of intersperses the expansion levels throughout the game, and it's just like a giant 1,000-ish level game. The PC versions, this one and Amiga, etc., they're almost two separate games. They're two separate like 500 level games, which is why we only mentioned the 4 map types, because all the other weird ones that you might think of if you've ever played the SNES version, those aren't in the base game. They're expansion ones, like the bit planes, where all your buildings are like computers.
Hmm. I think in the DOS expansion, isn't it like cowboy levels, or is that also the SNES version? Can't remember.
There's a few different ones actually. There's the cowboy level, which did not make it into the SNES version, and that's probably for the best. There's a Lego level. there's a Lego level, which is interesting. Or I don't think it's called Legoland. I think it's called like Blockland, but it's it's clearly we have Lego at home. And then there's a few more. And then actually, I think the Amiga and the Atari ST only, there was actually a second expansion called The Final Frontier, which added a additional like space map. I've never actually played that. I just know it exists. So
Expand, my people, expand.
yeah,
Well, they are at least behaving nicely this time around.
yeah, there you go.
They did not venture far into the hills, but kept nicely where I need them.
You see in the chat the noting that the entire series is available at quite a reasonable price on Steam and GOG.
There's actually a very nice video about the history of God games, and I think like Populous deserves a good good mention in that. Or did a good mention.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there we have the first volcano. I will just ignore it.
Oh, yep, there it is. Yep,
So
you can see it on the mini map there.
That's the volcano.
Yep.
I don't care about it. Oh, some people went down here, whatever. I can save them a little bit of space. You can have another castle here. But I don't want to waste too much time with the volcanoes. I think it's just not worth it. Technically, you can... Oh, there's another one. Technically, you could counter them with doing an... Like, either you can just destroy them by lowering the land and trying to fix
just
them.
flatten the land. Yeah.
Or what you also can do, which is like less time intensive but more mana intensive, is do an earthquake and then fix the earthquake. But I think both strats there are not really worth it in the end. I just try to ignore them and expand as quickly as possible in the other directions. I don't really mind having volcanoes. The people there will try to find a new space to build unless they die. Because there's also this health rot, it's called, or at least that's how some people call it in the game. So the people out of the houses constantly lose health. In the grassy lands, it's not as much, but in the desert or on the volcano lands, it's actually quite a bit. So they die there sooner. Here in the grassy lands, it's not so severe. So they live for quite a time and can find a new home somewhere.
Yep. So you may notice what Happy Camper is doing here is, as he expands when he's ready, he then raises the land kind of among his castles there. And so what happens is every building type has a rate of population growth and then a population cap. And when the cap is reached, a basically another settler will spawn from the building and go try to expand. So while the biggest buildings, the castles, they have really good mana growth, they also actually have a really high population cap, which is not actually great for expanding.
Mm.
So what we're doing here is he's kind of aiming that by when he's ready to expand, he intentionally raises or lowers the land such that he's making the building smaller. Hopefully, the person, hopefully the population there is somewhere between that smaller building and the castle. So the game thinks, "Oops, population capped," and spawns another settler off to go build another castle. In Populous 2, they actually added a dedicated right mouse click where you can just force the population out. But that's
Oh,
not
that's
a
only in
thing in
Populous.
Populous
Oh,
1.
okay.
Yep. Apparently it is, because someone while you were practicing mentioned that, and I know I've had people mention that in my chat as well when I was playing this. Like, hey, can you just right click and get them out of there? And it's like, well, you can, but if you're in the center of the building, you've also just wrecked the building. So that's not really helpful for expansion.
Alright, we already got first Armageddon. Didn't really pay attention to that. We're 8 minutes in. I need roughly 15 minutes for this level. Pretty tough to estimate because, like, okay, I'm just trying to expand as quickly as possible, and
basically trying to outrun the volcanoes.
Yeah, trying to aim. Yeah, did I get it? Well, then we'll do a safety save, and then we'll figure out if it actually is enough or not. I wouldn't dare to YOLO. That's no, especially not in a marathon. No. Oh yeah, maybe something else because I also have the hardware cam available. I made fun of capturing this while I'm playing this. This is not DOSBox. So this is actually on a retro. I'm actually playing this on a retro laptop. So this is my Windows 95 laptop that I acquired some years ago, secondhand, because I didn't own myself such an old hardware. But it's working quite fine for streaming some DOS games. So I've set up a couple of games, and I'm streaming it from this little neat little hardware. Oh god, okay, where can I expand? Okay.
That's very cool.
Okay, hopefully my guys will win the battle here, because I want to expand in this direction as well, because otherwise I will soon lose the sites to expand. A little bit unfortunate here with the volcanoes blocking the path in some directions. Oh, nice. There was still a castle.
In the chat discussing the number of levels. I think it's 495 is the number of levels in the base game, because you start on level 0, not level 1, but I believe the last level is 494. And then I just want to say there's a couple, like, I almost want to say there's one or two like troll maps in the game as well, where there's like in some versions there's like a map 999.
Oh yeah, true.
But the parameters are just completely not reasonable to even survive, let alone win.
I think in that DOS version there's no such level, but I might be mistaken. Okay, how are we doing with time?
People in the
12
chat
minutes.
asking,
Mhm.
doing 99 levels in one go. Well, yes and no. We're trying to get to level 100 or beyond level 100.
Yeah.
We're not actually playing all 99 levels though. We'll be playing. I'm looking here. It looks like we'll be playing 6 of the 99 levels. Because again, how well you do, how high your score is, determines how far you jump from level to level. So
Yeah, so pretty much the route is taking us to 6 levels because we're aiming for these grass and grassy type levels or the lava type levels, as they are more convenient with mana generation, as mentioned earlier. So we are not playing any desert or especially not the ice levels. They would be horrible, horribly slow. There would be some argument for it because I think in some of the ice levels you could maybe rush the enemy and kill them quickly.
Right.
But the downside is then you're also not abusing the point system to get to a far away level. So at some point it might be worth it to
you're
do
not
a
actually
quick...
advancing very far.
Yeah, sometimes it might be worth to do a quick level if you can really make sure that it's just short and maybe jump to another good level again. But I think in the first 100 in the DOS version there is no such thing. I think in the SNES run, I think there is a situation like this that you have to go through 1 or 2 ice levels, and I think Fiesel does them really quick. To not spend too much time in there.
Yeah, you do see a few more of the expansion terrain types in the SNES 1 through 100 run as well. Because again, those levels are kind of divided up, sprinkled in, if you will.
Yeah, I think they are the bitty lands, and so they're in the SNES version quite early.
Yeah, there's at least one Bit Plains level in there, I know. Or there was, last I checked. I don't know. I actually don't know what the current state of that 0 to 99 run is, honestly. Anyone has updated it?
Good question. I don't know for the SNES version. But I think there hasn't been any runs from Fiesel since last year or last summer.
Right, yeah.
I
don't know if anyone else has taken it up in the meantime.
Before I did my last run, and that was last summer.
Yeah. Iggy Dota, you can also do that in the SNES version.
Ooh, there was a monster with the swamp.
Oh, yep.
I'll take care of that because it's mostly going from my terrain. Oh well,
of course it is.
There's a lot of it is on the mountain.
There's a lot of volcano land,
so it doesn't matter. Nice. Okay. Okay, that's a good point. I never considered that.
Yep.
Volcanoes helping out with not having to fix too much.
Yeah.
So here I'm just going to accelerate a little bit. So every time you see these the white points, which are my castles, flickering, and that means roughly a little bit. You can see it now with the people here, that it's speeding up a little bit.
You can see the flags moving back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like basically, every time you see kind of the graphics change or the frames alternate, it seems like that's kind of an action you can take. Is my observation from slowing the game way down using the in-game keys.
All the Populous players in one location.
Populous, every person ever who's played Populous right now.
I think that sounds correct. 49. Yeah, that is correct. Nice.
Yep.
Another lava level. Yeah, I'm safe. I'll go down at least one layer here. If that guy wants to go down, that's the question. Oh, he's already going down.
Yep.
Oh, just go down. Please go down. No, 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 no.
Eh,
Okay. You did not go down. How about you
What are
go
you doing,
down?
dude? How about you? Yeah, there's some nice flat land there.
Very nice flat land. Nope, nope. They're still going up. This guy is going
No,
down.
no. Where are you going?
Some some guys are going down. How about you build
Okay.
here? Okay, that's working.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm out of mana.
Oh,
So
no,
now
yep, that's the problem.
that
If you
bar
don't get
is
that early
the arrow
castle,
is
it's like,
very
well,
very to the left.
yep,
So
you
out of
just gotta
mana.
wait.
Just build here, please. Come on, I want to fix it. Fix it. Can't fix it because I'm out of mana. Please don't die.
Mm.
Please build. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, but now I have to aim
Okay.
for a castle before.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
totally screwed.
So this is the first level where you'll see the enemy use the knight power. And I would say if you're playing this more casually, besides Armageddon, knight is probably your bread and butter power that you use a lot of. Basically, it's a nice way to directly attack the enemy. Again, you don't have direct control, but if you create a knight, the knight will sort of beeline for enemy buildings. And because the knight is quite strong, it will typically, destroy a large number of them.
Come on, one more, then the castle. There we go. So everybody's homeless.
But we got our mana going, so we're fine.
Yeah.
It's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Had to be done.
Can you
due
look
to
up the values?
civilization.
Because I think it's insane the difference between the second best
Give
building
me a moment here.
and the castle.
We are on rock and lava.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So everything up to small castle or square tower has a mana growth of 1. The square tower has a mana growth of 2, and the big castle has a mana growth of 30. To give you an idea.
Yeah, it is insane. So you rush the castle if you can. To be honest, I didn't really. I could have rushed better, but yeah, I was also trying to flatten the land.
Right. Yeah. Because you can't get the castle without the flat land. So.
But now we have shit ton of mana. we just keep spamming now. So I will try to. If you look at the map in the top left, I will mostly try here to go towards the east, because the enemy is on, well, kind of southwest, and since they can do knights, I want to stay away from them. So I want to see the knights coming in, which will be tough in this one, because you can see the enemy color is like gray, and or like the people are red, but the buildings are gray, and the land is gray.
Right.
So it's kind of tough to see what's going on their side. Oh, I can see they got a knight now. Okay, so trouble is coming.
Yep. On the top right there. See
Yeah,
that,
the shield
guy
reveals
with the sword. That
that
means that's
there
a
was
knight
a
somewhere.
knight created. And I want to see them coming in, because in this stage the computer is actually, the CPU is not very fast. It's like pretty slow. So I can actually sync the knights. You will see that in a moment. Like when he's coming in, I'll just get rid of him. Hopefully before he can kill one of my cities, one of my castles. Also, I need to expand a little bit. Come on, guys.
Right. It's a combination of the fact that
from?
the CPU reaction speed is still pretty slow, and the water or the lava, if you
There he
will,
is.
that parameter is fatal in
And there he was.
this level. So that means basically, sorry, still dealing with cat.
I was dealing with knight in the
if,
meantime, so don't worry.
Yeah. Basically, if water is fatal, once an enemy sinks into it or is surrounded by it, if the CPU decides not to cheat, that is, they just die instantly. There's also a parameter called harmful, which is
Ooh, that's another one. No?
the
That-
if you sink a unit in harmful water, it'll kind of flail around for a little bit. You'll have a little bit of time to try to rebuild the land underneath them in order to save them.
I don't really know the explanation, but maybe it's just health rot, and maybe health rot is increased, that they eventually die. Because they seem to be swimming for quite a while on some levels.
They can go a while, yeah.
Yeah. And then you're still watching them. Oh yeah, you swim very nicely, dude.
Yeah.
Keep swimming.
Yeah. Technique could use some work, but yeah, keeping yourself afloat really well.
Okay, is there somewhere a knight? Doesn't seem to be. Ah, no, that was nothing. So there's multiple ways to deal with knights. In 2 of these levels here, I can do what I'm doing now, just sink them. But when the enemy is too strong, or too fast, well, then there's another option that I will use. Oh, he's burning my my things. No, please die. Here we go. There's another one. Oh god. Sink them. Oh god, I killed a lot of my own people. Well, that happens. Shit happens. There's another way by well, like there's multiple ways, I guess, but one way that I will do later is that I can stack my leader. Like when there's multiple buttons on the bottom left. Like I can also make the people go towards the totem, and what they will actually do is they will go towards the leader if there is a leader, because he's carrying the totem in a way. And with this, the people will go into the leader and make him stronger. And if he's strong enough, he can beat the knights easily. Well, that is until he's probably weak, so that he dies eventually. Die, please.
Yeah. So, yeah. So the relative strength of a unit is, well, the knight died, so I can't really explain it now. But in the bottom right corner of the shield, on the top right,
I can give it to somebody.
There's basically 2 bars.
There is somebody.
I guess one way to, yeah, okay, there we go. You see it there. The first bar is the leftmost bar, is, if you will, I don't know if this corresponds exactly, but one way to think of it is kind of like the tens digit of their health, and then the rightmost bar is kind of like the ones digit. And again, I don't know if that corresponds exactly to the number, but you hopefully get what I'm saying. And once the orange bar of the quote-unquote tens digit fills up, it will then turn to yellow, which is basically means the unit is even stronger. So you ideally want to see there's at least some yellow in that bar, if not full yellow.
I can also see I think that also the weapons correlate to the strength, right? Because now this guy is carrying a sword. Before he was carrying something else.
Basically, if I think it kind of has to do with what building they emerge out of. They have some sort of weapon, and the weapon somehow has an influence on their strength and how well they do in battle. I don't know exactly what it is.
My leader is somewhere, but he cannot build, so I'm helping.
There you go. Yep.
Help him out. probably gathered a couple of people, so wants to expand. Help him expand. Oh, there's another knight. It's super convenient when they have the shield, because then I can find them easily. Because there's this shield button here in the bottom left where it just gets me to the guy carrying the shield. But sometimes, most of the times, I actually have to look on the map. Like, for instance, now I see that one guy is here. So, sink him.
Yep. Some of the console ports of this do actually they improve on some of the like query buttons. So on kind of I would say the center bottom, you can see a button that's like a helmet and sword that will tell you where any of your knights are. And some of the like console ports, they improve this so that if you click on it again, it'll actually go directly to any enemy knights. But using in the DOS version, it does not do that. So
it's actually quite interesting how deep this game still is for such an old game. Like, when did it came out for DOS? I can't remember. 91?
I don't know. I don't know about DOS specifically. I know the original releases were like 89, so...
Yeah, the original is 89, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's... Oh, yeah, by the way, 35th anniversary. I think
35th anniversary of Populous.
in June or so? I noted it down,
okay.
but I can't remember it now.
Okay.
So, 35 years of Populous. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, it really is interesting how this is, even though you don't like directly control your units like you would in say StarCraft. It's really interesting how this is kind of like proto RTS in its gameplay, where you're constantly having to scan around the map and see what's going on and harass the enemy and keep them from harassing you, and all the while trying to expand. Cleaning up Swamp Monster here.
Yeah. Nasty. Oh, there's one more. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Bye. Bye, knight. Oh, there's another one. Okay, how far are we in? 1330. Ah, that should be fine, I think. I didn't do too good at the beginning, but maybe that should be correct. 7 Armageddon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's way more than the...
You had way more. Yeah, wow.
Interesting. I didn't expect this. I mean, we can watch maybe the fight here going on just for a little bit. I'm nowhere near PB pace. I'm like 5 minutes behind. So I can invest a little bit time.
Yeah, so this is what happens in Armageddon. Everybody just goes.
Yeah, where's the last guy? Huh? Where's the last red guy? Oh, there, down there. Okay, here he comes. Watch him coming. He's gonna beat me. Or maybe
here he
not.
comes.
Look at the power. And ouch, he's dead. And I won. Easy. Geo sir, it should be correct. 64.
Sounds right. Yep. Don't forget to safety save 5-ish minutes in.
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. That's actually important.
Yep.
Because this level is the first one with the flood, and it's a very dangerous flood, because this is insta kill. Not for me, but for the enemy if he's dumb enough to do it. Oh god, I ruined this.
Yep.
Whatever. Let's keep going. I should be fine. I just need to safety save later.
Yeah.
ruin this.
So to elaborate on the flood thing a little bit, the enemy gets 2 tools in this level. They can still make knights, and they can also use the flood power. Um, Basically, if the enemy has tools in their toolkit, by golly, they are going to use them. They do not take their game state into account when they do it. So the enemy likes to build on 1 tile high land. The flood lowers all land by 1 tile. You can see where this is going. They will happily flood themselves out of the game, which, playing casually is great, but unfortunately for the speedrun, that's not so great because that will not give us nearly the number of points we need to get to the level we want to get to. So,
yeah,
as weird as it is, we have to save the enemy from themselves, effectively.
Yeah, that's actually I think the first time like I was derusting this game today. My first and last practice attempt. And and in that one it happened. Like I think it has never happened to me before. I was aware of this this problem, but I think it has never happened before to me.
Yeah,
so now I'm very wary that it's hopefully not happening again.
Right. I definitely knew it was a thing that they didn't particularly care if they would flood themselves out. I didn't realize they would actually do it to the point of losing the level.
Yeah, because usually they don't lose the level.
Right.
Because they have some, at least 1 or 2 like huts on some elevation, but in this case they had none, so they just all died. And then I was like, oh yeah, shit, that happened. So I replayed the level and saved, and it happened again. So I was like, okay, how do I fix this? Well, there's actually an easy fix. I just created a volcano quite a bit beforehand. So they built on some elevation then, because they
built on the volcano.
They somewhat fixed it by building on a volcano, and then not everybody died. So that was a spontaneous fix. Let's see if we have to do it. So actually, why not safety save now already? Because who knows? Maybe on a different file name. B. Just to be sure. As if it happens too soon, I cannot fix it. Okay, I've been neglecting this for quite a while now. Oh, my leader died. That should not be an issue in this one, because when the enemy will do creates knights, you should, like, normally you will see them coming in this level, because they will build land bridges. We should see that in a moment, actually, because they probably can build a knight soon. Once that happens, he will slowly make the path towards my location.
See people mentioning Syndicate, another Bullfrog game, in the chat.
And oh yeah, another classic, yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting. The manual for Syndicate mentioned that basically as Bullfrog's games went on, they kind of got more intricate in what they were simulating, but the scale of what they were simulating actually got smaller. So you have like Populous here, which is sort of simulating godhood in a world. And then they did a game called Powermonger, which I actually don't think you can buy easily nowadays. I don't think it's on Steam or GOG, etc. But where they were simulating like nation states and the politics between them. And then they did Syndicate, where they were really trying to simulate like at like a city level, people wandering around a city in kind of like this dystopian cyberpunk.
Oh, there you go. First environment. So. Sorry, continue.
Nope, that's all right. No, that was about as far as I was going with that. So, and then,
well, they also did Dungeon Keeper, which is, well, also some kind of a simulation
even
game,
more
but
so.
being an evil overlord. They did the flood. Okay, at least they survived. So
Yep.
sadly, we did not see
You can see
the
there.
land bridges, but this guy survived.
Yep. There's one dude there. Yep. There's one enemy.
Well done, enemy. You did not even send knights, so this should be my best level of this yet. Usually, you have to deal with knights. This time, I didn't even have to deal with
You
knights.
just didn't, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite hilarious. So well done, well played.
Yes. I don't know if you want to put down another safety save at all, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
you said,
maybe I should, because technically you could get
Okay.
enough mana for
a second
another
flood,
flood,
yeah.
and then kill himself. Hopefully he doesn't.
Yep. As you can see, game AI does not. That is kind of the one advantage you sort of have over the AI. I feel like is that
Yeah.
sometimes when it gets tools, it does not consider the state it is in before deciding to use those tools. Just flooding in particular.
That's also how it feels like in the last. Oh, no, it was this like a couple of levels before, when we had this volcano spawning. He was just spamming volcanoes whenever he can. Like, oh, I can ruin something. Doesn't
Right.
matter where it's located. Just like go for it, ruin something, and it feels pretty random, like where it aims. That doesn't feel like it's taking into consideration if there's many castles there or so.
Right.
More good stuff. Time-wise, yeah, I think we should be fine with the estimate, hopefully. I was a little bit slow on some levels.
Actually, don't even remember what the estimate was. So
135, I think. Yeah.
okay.
And my PB is like 126.
Yeah. All right.
Which makes it, I think, like a few minutes faster than the SNES version.
Yeah, that sounds right.
We also do a lot less levels.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Is you're basically always jumping forward, 15, 20 levels at a time in this.
Also, I think the loading times in between the levels is quite a lot higher in the SNES version.
That's true too. Yeah.
It might be
Interesting note
like
about
maybe in the like in very old DOS days it was actually maybe comparable, but since this is a Windows 95 laptop, well, it has a lot more power than like
probably, yeah.
early 90s DOS
Yeah,
DOS PCs.
that's true. Interesting note about the music in this. The DOS version, the only one that actually has in-game what I would call music. Every other version has this weird like heartbeat with occasional, I guess you'd call it choir chanting. The SNES version has it. Amiga version has it. This is the only one that actually plays like the title screen theme over the, over the main game when you select music.
Oh yeah, also it supports MT32, or like MIDI in general, I would guess.
Yeah, it supports a few different sound cards. If you get one of the digital releases, if you know how, you can actually pick which sound card you want to, I guess, emulate which sound you want to get. Kind of neat.
Yeah, technically I should be able to do this on this. Oh no, he did another flood. Did he survive? How did he? What? Can I save
Where?
this?
What? How?
Where does he survive? What? Where is he?
I don't know, but see,
He's
yeah,
on my
I was
he's
gonna
on
say,
my
see,
lands. That's why I survived. Hello,
all right.
guy.
Oh, there he is. He's just chilling there. His little
Cool
house.
guy. All right, let's try this. 10 volcanoes and 6 Armageddon, or like 5 Armageddon. We recently like. So okay, let's try this. So this is the only level where I do volcanoes because they also give a ton of points, or like, but nowhere comparable to Armageddon's. But I need to aim for a specific level here to make it consistent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 Armageddon. Actually, let's move this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, now it's 6. Well, I won. But I think I'm in the wrong level. No, it's 79. Okay, perfect. That's where I want to be.
Nice. All
okay,
right.
so 6
Yep,
in this
there you
table.
go.
Like on the stream before, or like in the practice before, I just needed 5. Whatever.
Right.
Let's go for the last level. And again, grassy. Grassy with pretty much the similar or like the same powers as before. So the enemy got Knights and Flood. But the Knights are a lot more dangerous in this one because I cannot sink them. On the other hand, a Flood is a lot less dangerous because, how to put it, it's not insta-kill anymore. It's like, how do you call it again? Not bottomless. Bottomless is a swamp.
They call it harmful. I think.
Harmful, yeah, harmful it is. Yeah, it's not harmful. It's whatever the other thing is. Harmless.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's not particularly dangerous for you either because you start on pretty high ground, so they would have to flood it.
Yeah, I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm just
really
staying high ground for now.
Right, yeah.
But technically, I would also be able to save my people. It's just annoying, so it would disrupt me, but it's more disrupting him when he does a flood.
Yeah.
Where are you going? He's going towards the edge. I'm helping him. Oh, now he's going up. Where are you going?
Okay. You did this in your practice run too. Like, where are you going, dude?
This time he chose a better place.
Yeah, it was better than. Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah. I think we teased at the very beginning of the run a little bit the other category, the win only or win against, whatever. It's pretty much something like any percent in this game. I mean, it's not a completion, but it's like win any level. And it started quite nicely, I would say. The first challenges until it got completely hilarious in, I think, most of the versions. I think the Amiga one is not yet hilarious. I think that one has like a 6-minute run or so, or was it 10? But the SNES and the DOS version look a bit ridiculous because it takes only a few seconds. Actually, if you wanna, I think we might have just enough time. It takes only a minute to find out the name of the level. We could also do this right after this because it just takes a few seconds. And if I figure, like, if we can put up the reference card and accelerate the game, we can even make it faster.
You can make it even faster, yeah.
Yeah, it only takes a few seconds because there's some levels in the SNES and the DOS version where the enemy, you don't need to do anything practically. They will just die after a certain amount of time because it's some ice or some, I think it's in SNES and DOS, it's both ice levels. Can't
Definitely,
remember.
yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
they have a lot of like, it's called health rot, but it's like pretty much the people are dying in the outside. And since in these levels the terrain is pretty bad for the enemy, let's put it this way, they will die because they cannot build a shelter in time. So within a certain timer, they just die.
Yep. So the kind of history of, at least on the PC version, yeah, I think the category is called Win a Level, and you get your free choice of whatever level you want to start on. You put in the password, and timing, I think, starts when either you finish entering the password or when you hit start game, if they're not the same thing. But the history of this is, I think the first runs were somewhere around like 10 minutes or so. And then poking around, I found the reference card where it was like, oh, hey, the PC version has a speed up function just like the SNES version does. Neat. So the first run I did of it was I did a run on Genesis, basically turning up the speed as fast as I was comfortable with, and that was about 3.5 minutes. And then just kind of casually playing through the game, I just happened to find this snow and ice level where you outnumber the enemy by a lot. I think it's like 30-5. Four of the enemy dies right away, and you're close enough to the fifth one that you can just harass them until they die too. So I guess I'm doing a run on this level now and seeing how long it takes, and I got that down to like 11 seconds. And then Happy Camper here took it to its logical conclusion,
Yeah, speed it up to full speed.
incorporating the speed up with the map, and I think it's like 1.7 seconds or something.
Something like this, yeah. It's a little bit dumb.
It's something silly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something silly that I stopped doing it after a while, and I just took the best time.
Yeah.
There's this. You can probably do it like within less than a second, I guess, if you practice practice it very well.
Yeah.
I should pay attention to the night here. Actually, let's do a safety save. Where's my guy? That's not my guy. Where's my?
Yeah, I think I see the knight kind of creeping up towards your.
Yeah, the knight is already
civilization there.
winning, so
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah. Oh, yep, there
Where's
he is.
my dude? There he is. Let's okay, and accidentally destroyed the castle. Whatever. I need to deal with this knight like this because I cannot sync him.
Yeah.
The CPU is too fast. So hopefully he does. No, it was you walked past him. Okay, there he dealt with that guy. There's more coming in.
There we go.
Yeah, at least one.
There
Oh, he
we go.
also
Yeah,
put
here
the
comes
leader.
another one,
Oh,
though.
that might be trouble. He also got the leader coming. Uh-oh.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. No, go here. Oh god, I'm so slow. Please work. Please kill this knight. Okay, nice. Okay, the leader went away again, apparently. But he's nearby. That's not a good sign. Ah, there he does the flood. Thanks, that's helping.
Thanks, friend. Yeah.
Yeah, as I stated before. He's dumb at making these decisions.
Does not care. But yeah, so you have a few kind of different orders you can give to your peasants. One is to expand. That's what we have selected right now on the bottom left. That's that flag. There's also the Ankh, which is immediately up and left of that flag. That's really the only one where you can kind of directly control your units. What that does is it has them gather toward the leader. And it will have the leader gather toward wherever you have put the Ankh. If you don't have a leader because the leader is dead, they will all move toward the Ankh. That's really the only way you can directly control your units. And there are a few levels later on where you actually have to do this because sometimes you are restricted in where you can build. There are a few levels where you cannot build up or down at all. So you have to just control your you just have to very slowly wait to generate mana and move your Ankh toward some of the enemy civilizations. The other two are basically fight, which is the swords, and kind of gather power, join your population together. That's the one kind of immediately to the right of the swords.
Oh yeah,
And I
forgot
think
about that.
both,
Mhm.
yeah, and I think gather power and fight both kind of have a implied secondary objective of I actually forget the priority, but it's either expand if you can't find the. I think it's expand if you can't accomplish your primary goal. Like if you pick fight, if there's no enemy targets around, you will just expand instead. Yes, as Iggy said in chat, yeah. It's like gather, yeah, it's X then settle. Settle, I think, is the game's term for expanding. So, yeah, it's yeah. Essentially it's try to do this thing. If you can't accomplish that thing, then expand. And similar to light mountains, if you wanted to, you could get rid of like the shrapnel of your buildings by lowering it all the way down to the water and then building it back up. But since the damage here isn't too bad, and even in some levels later on where the damage from enemy knights can get kind of bad, usually you're better off just kind of trying to outrace the damage, just trying to expand faster than they can take you, take your buildings.
Ooh, there's some knight here. Ooh, where's my guy? Wake up. This time I didn't forget about this neat little finding feature.
Yep.
Alright, where is the knight? Okay, it's going some random place. What are you doing, knight?
Going on the world tour.
Really, yeah, it looks like it. Is he
Yeah.
going here? He's going here now. No, he's not. What the? What are you doing? It's a fake knight, I think. It's just yeah, he's just in the world. What the fuck?
he just wants to see all your cool castles.
Oh no, he actually did something.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Please just win.
All right, here comes your leader.
Please, thank you very
there
much.
You go. All right.
There's another one here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just the enemy could use the mana like more efficiently by just doing a flood. That would be nice. oh, I just missed him. It's a bit tricky to steer.
Yeah, you can't really directly control your. Yeah.
Oh no, I think I did it. Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay, maybe I should go here. But also I should just rebuild, I guess. Whatever. Let's settle and hope for a flood. Okay, how far? We're 12 minutes into this level. I'll need a couple minutes more probably, like maybe 5 minutes. It should still put me under estimate, which would be nice.
Yeah, so if you're curious why it's level 0 to 99, that actually comes from the SNES version. Every time you win a level, the game will tell you well done, and then it'll give you a title. And it starts off as well done, mortal. Level 100, or actually level 99, when you are victorious in 99, is the first time the title actually changes from mortal to immortal in the SNES version. Owing to the fact that the expansion levels are again kind of interspersed throughout the game. In this version, the title actually changes twice between 0 and 100. It changes from mortal to immortal at level 50, and then I think it changes to deity at level 100.
Actually,
and that's actually a good way to when we are victorious on this level, we'll know if we got far enough because the game will tell us, well done, deity, you conquered world. Now battle at this other world.
And we're like, nope, I had enough.
Yeah. Right now we're good.
No. I'm fine. I'm actually,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, the level we'll get into is terrible. It's I can't remember like what powers we have or the enemy has, but it's a desert level, so that already makes it pretty damn
It's
bad.
yeah. Yeah, the game gets rough not long after level 100. There's a topic on the GOG forums where someone asks how you beat, I think it's like level 120-ish or 130-ish, and they mentioned that they had to resort to literally just hacking the game so that you can
Oh,
play custom maps, and when you play custom maps or randomly generated maps, you can change the enemy parameters as well as if you really want to do yours, if you wanted to like watch the computer play itself. Um, so what they had to do was basically hack the game to allow them to do that in the campaign levels, so they could make the CPU slower. And finally win that way. I think I ended up just manipulating the score and skipping that set of levels. But
or did I deactivate the music? Oh no. Did we play the whole time without music? Oops.
I don't know. I obviously have had music off this whole time on my
Oops.
end. So no.
I think I just noticed that. Oops, my bad.
Whoops.
Very much my bad. Yeah, because I also have that muted because otherwise I would not be able to hear empty eye over there. As the music was so
Right.
loud, I had to make decisions. Oops, my bad, guys. Sorry.
Whoops.
Well.
Karaoke. Well, it is an interesting. So this game was originally developed for the Amiga, and you can tell. How can you tell? You'll notice we have music and sound effects highlighted right now, since we now have the music. However, in reality, even in the DOS version, you get music or sound effects. You don't get both. Which can actually be kind of annoying because when you have the music on, you can no longer hear when enemy powers have been used against you. You just watch the minimap or sort of know. So that's also fun.
Well, if you call it fun.
A certain definition of fun. But yeah, because we had the music off this whole time, you probably noticed each of the powers when they're used. They carry a unique tone with them. So when you have the music off and you just hear these tones, you know the enemy is doing something. With the music on, you don't get to hear those at all.
Okay, I think we should soon have enough. It's like 17 minutes in. 17 and a half soon. Oh, whatever. I made that smaller than actually bigger. Whoops. Ruining castles. Never mind.
It is true. It actually might be different on other versions just because the music itself is different. I don't know that I would call it music per se on the other versions. Like I said, it's that like creepy heartbeat with the, I guess, ominous chanting, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
In every other version.
Okay. It says 18 minutes now. So let's bring this to a finish. Those two guild houses and then we're fine. Saved it. So, to the finish. So I need to do a whole 10 Armageddons. Let's see if that is possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, more than 10. Almost
good.
11.
Yep.
So that should bring me to level 101. If done correctly. The last battle. Slain.
There we go.
So do we get the title? Well done, Eternal.
There it is, Eternal. That's what it is. Yes,
Eternal,
deity.
and
I think is
101.
after. Yep. There you go.
And
And
that's the
time, by the way. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a terrible level, so we're not playing that one. But yeah, thanks for the GGs, guys. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, this makes me want to start playing this again, honestly.
I hope you were all inspired, and now you're starting to do Populous runs. Maybe come up with better strats, because there's certainly possibilities for doing so. Like we mentioned, you can actually speed up the game. I'm just doing it in my own way with the key presses. But you can also turn it up in the options, like with the shortcuts. You have to be quick then. No? Yeah, and you can also try different routes or different possibilities. Also do maybe a full game run. Good idea. But yeah, actually what I wanted to show off, like we talked about earlier, we can do the win a game one. I have a video open.
Sorry, it's
name.
World 204 is the one you want.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
It's Populous, if I see that's correct.
Yes.
Populous. Okay, what's a shortcut for increasing the speed? We can also do that.
I have to go look it up. Give me a moment. Actually, hold on.
I also have to open. Oh yeah, Alt
okay.
S, it seems. Hold down the key.
Increase. Yep. Alt S. Yep.
All right. So we can be rather quick about this. This is only taking like less than a minute.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's even worth the timer. So.
Yeah. I'll actually. Yeah, it is not worth the timer. Like I'll do it first, like speeding up. Yes. Actually, it will not work like this. Then I'll restart the level. And then I try to be quick about it. So actually I need to prevent him from building a house, and that should be fine. Okay, look quickly! Look quickly, because it's over soon. Restart the map. Okay, he's building multiple times. Okay, but now he died. Well, that's time.
There you go! You win!
Win!
GG, easy game.
Yeah.
Only all the levels were that easy.
Yeah, sadly not. And now we get to, what is the next level? 207 now.
That sounds right, yeah, alright.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it from my
Yeah.
side with Populous, and thanks for MTI for joining in with the commentary. It was very helpful because
Of course, thanks for having me.
it's a lot of time to like get over with this 1.5 hours, and it's actually not that much about like deep strategies in these levels. Like you can explain it rather quickly, but it's like you have to pay attention a lot about the minimap and so on, so it's tough for me to comment.
Yeah, it's stressful. You gotta stay on top of it pretty much the whole time, yeah. So, yeah, no problem. That was fun.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Also another shout out maybe to I'm also wearing a nice shirt of December, like because playing DOS games and I have to fit nice wear for it. So there's also this event in the December or December, it's some people call it for some reason, where people play a lot of DOS games and stream it on Twitch. Also some love to those people. This is also amazing for all the DOS lovers out there. It's great. Also, like, it's not technically, but like we talked a little bit about Amiga. It's April, and there's still some guys doing Amiga April for the first time in history, playing a lot of Amiga games. So that's kind of the same jam. I think there's like also something like this for SNES in what is it? SNESember? I don't know. I don't know the SNES one. I'm not too deep into SNES stuff. But there's a lot of cool months out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this, I'm yeah, I think we're finished here with this section of Populous. Next up, we have what is coming up. Oh, it's actually a little bit of tech setup, but then Aaron is showing off. Oh, what is this? A ColecoVision speedrun marathon. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, good luck, Aaron.
That should
that
be fun.
seems tough and fun.
For that. Yeah.
All right, I'm excited. Let's see what this is all about.
Cool.
That's not. I don't know that yet, but it seems like a lot of mini games, like winter sports or something like this. I'm excited. Let's watch it. All right. With this, I think we head over to a little break and see you around.
Yep.
Bye bye.
All right. Thanks everyone for the rest of Retrothon.